giving me the floor, and I'm happy to take the floor just after Cecilia Wikström, because the program that I'm dealing with and the different initiatives I will be speaking about are very complementary to what you are doing, because our aim is as well to speak directly to citizens, listen to their concerns, see how we can address some concerns and explain better what the EU does. So, well, I'm in particular in charge of the Europe for Citizens program that you very nicely described when opening this session, but also of the citizens' dialogues that the Commission is now holding in the member states since about 2 years. So I will speak about those initiatives. And I will build on what you said. Indeed, there are already many articles, many studies, many analyses that show and demonstrate that citizens feel that their voice doesn't count, that they are not heard, that the institutions are too distant from them. But there are also a number of initiatives in place that our institutions are putting in place, and when the citizens know about them, they feel that they are valuable. They receive a favorable welcome when they know about those initiatives, what we do to get closer to them. So really there is an effort to be made, I think, to inform better about the EU, about its policies, but also about the different mechanisms that exist to listen to the citizens and to speak to them. So what is also clear in many studies is that we need to provide information that is clear, that is simplified, and that's also another tool that the Commission is developing, is see how we can improve our information tools and our information strategies, but I will not speak about that. That's not really my remit, but we probably there would be some colleagues you could invite about that as well. So now I would like to focus first on the citizens' dialogues. So you probably know that President Juncker has taken a clear commitment to communication with citizens, and he has mentioned in all the mission letters to the vice presidents and to the commissioners that they had to participate in debates with citizens in the member states. And I will quote him. He said, "I want you all to be politically active in the member states and in dialogues with citizens by presenting and communicating our common agenda, listening to ideas and engaging with stakeholders." So that's in their letter of mission of all of them. So what we will do in the commissions is build on what we have done in the last 2 years, when we organized between September 2012 and March 2014 51 citizens' dialogue throughout the EU. And actually we reached with this first wave of citizens' dialogue something like 17,000 citizens and another 105,000 via web streaming, via social media, etc. And some good press coverage. Of course, it could be better, and we are working on that, but I think it's a first step. And what I was saying when starting this presentation is that what we got, the feedback we got from the citizens that were participating in those debates, is that they were quite positive. When they took part of it, they said, well, yes, it's useful. I have learned something. I better understand what you say. And they were encouraging us to continue. 9 out of 10, I think, were saying, yes, do more of those. So we will now start with the first dialogue with Vice President Dombrovskis in Riga on the 8th of January. So when the college will be there to launch the Latvian presidency, there will be a dialogue as well. And we will continue all over the year. So that's one initiative. Now I would like as well to speak about Europe for Citizens program, because that's the main reason why I think I've been invited to participate in this session. So the aim of this program is really to contribute to this aim of bringing the EU closer to citizens, to improve citizens' understanding of the Union, and to foster citizenship, improve the conditions for civic participation at Union level. And of course this is complementary to all the actions done by the Parliament to improve the democratic participation. It's really complementary to actions for improving the representative democracy, but participative democracy, of course, is an important dimension as well. So we are working via two strands, two main objectives. One is to improve the remembrance. So it's to, we were discussing during the coffee that it was important for citizens to know better the history also in the other member states, that usually we are very limited to our own area. We know what, well, I know what happened in Belgium, Holland and France, and that's the only thing I was taught at school. But by discussing, by participating in this kind of meetings, by meeting people from Eastern Europe in particular, we start understanding what happened there as well, how they perceive now the Ukrainian crisis or others, and that's really one of the aims of this program, is to put people together and that they confront the different historical perspectives, that they start feeling what others could have felt, but vis-à-vis the same situations, the same events. But with very different understanding. The aim is not to have one common history that could be applied to all of us, but to have different perspectives of similar events and try to understand how it was felt by others. And I'm fully in agreement with what was saying Jonathan White. It's important to have different views. The idea is not to have one common history, one common identity. That would be that means that everybody thinks the same. It's on the value of this kind of program is to exchange views that could be conflicting, but with a view to start learning what the other thinks and what the other can bring. So that's one strand. The other strand is developing civic participation, is debating on the future of Europe, is putting citizens together to discuss issues of common interest, and by funding town twinnings, networks of twin towns, civil society projects, the aim is again put people coming from different countries together and exchange good practice, understand that the other can bring something to them rather than being a danger. It's really, we had a good project of between Romania and Spain, for example, of where they discussed how could we better welcome Romas from Romania to Spain. Why are they moving in? How should we welcome them? What could we do in their country of origin? And it's by putting people together that we could improve the situation and better understand the causes of what is happening nowadays. So to give an order of magnitude, during the period 2007-2013, we funded 6,500 projects. So that means that we reach actually almost 25,000 towns and cities in Europe and created something like 350 networks. So to give an idea, those are very small projects, not necessitating a lot of money, but putting a lot of people together to speak about Europe and see together what the EU could bring concretely in their lives, in their cities. So, well, I think those are key aspects that I would like to share with you. So I think, again, there are some initiatives. What we need now is to make them known, encourage people to participate in it, but also see how we can reach the ones that are neutral, the ones that are not so far in our networks, because speaking to people that are convinced, it's great because they support us, they like us. We are always happy to go in towns where we supported a project and where people are European and are feeling that we do a good job. But now we have also to go to the others, and that's another challenge. And of course, if you have ideas to help us reaching those, let us discuss it. Thank you.